I've come to the conclusion that these two are either a match made in heaven or a powder keg about to explode. Please excuse the random, extra set of eyeballs that I end up having with the glow from the ring light every once in a while. Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today I am gonna be filming another just informal, fun reading vlog. I'm starting to read Well Met by Jen DeLuca, and I actually just received this in the mail from @LiteraryGoldRush on Instagram. I won it in her birthday giveaway, so thank you so much to Allie for sending me this book. I cannot wait to dive in. So I'm just gonna kind of film some of my reactions and my predictions as we go, potentially. We'll just see. We'll just see what happens. I'm not really sure. Without further ado, let's get into it. Hello, Editing Me here. Just coming in to warn you that there will be spoilers going forward in this video. So if you don't know what this book is about, this girl named Emily who joins a Ren Fair, and romance shenanigans ensue with this guy who doesn't like her when she is Emily, but when she is her Ren Fair persona, they have this flirtationship going on. It's a really cute little read. If you love that small town feeling of home, very much the vibe of a Taylor Swift song kind of story, then you will like this book, but proceed at your own risk, because again, there will be spoilers. I finished 4 chapters thus far. I am getting a feel for the character. She is actually pretty relatable. She just wants to take care of other people, but she's also, it seems like, avoiding her own issues by distracting herself with being busy with other people's problems. And I get that. I really get that. Trying to figure out what Simon's deal is and why he specifically doesn't like this girl. Probably just because he's attracted to her, but I'm wondering if there's something deeper. I know they keep mentioning things about his brother, so I'm trying to figure out what the story there might be. They keep mentioning that he's gone, and the main character thinks that he left town, but something tells me that he actually passed away. Now that I'm thinking about it, maybe he caused the main character's sister's car accident, maybe? And that's why he's uncomfortable? I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out, but it's cute. I love that we're getting to see kind of the behind the scenes of what it might take to put on a Renaissance fair. I have always wanted to go to one and get to dress up and just pretend like you're in a different time period, so I am living vicariously through the characters and getting to see what the behind the scenes stuff is in this medieval world that they are creating together. I love the relationship between Emily and, I can't remember her niece's name right now, but her niece, and the fact that Emily isn't trying to be her niece's mom or parent, she's just trying to be that adult figure in her life right now. I think it's really cute, and I'm glad that they get to bond a little bit. I don't know if I'll get to continue reading tonight. I kind of have to go to bed. Until next time. It is now the next day. I definitely stayed up and read a lot of the book last night. So when I got back from work today, I had about 100 pages left in the book after what I read last night, or coming close to the end. I'm enjoying it thus far. I will say that I really wish that I got more of that feeling of banter that I get when they are in their Renaissance fair personas. I don't know, I highly ship them in their Renaissance fair personas and how sassy and goofy they are together. But then for most of the rest of the book, I just haven't felt that same chemistry between them, because Simon, the love interest, was just so standoffish and cold. And yes, I know we got some explanations for that's just who he is, but then also the trauma with his brother, which, side note, going back to a prediction that I had last night, Simon's brother definitely did not hit Emily's sister. That's not what led to her accident. Very, very wrong there. I was giving Simon's angst towards Emily a bit too much to build off of, if that makes sense. I don't know, I just feel like all of his standoffish behavior toward her specifically doesn't really make sense with the explanations that we got. I guess The only thing that I could think of is that he was weird towards her because she was the only new person in the town and he doesn't like change and doesn't want to risk upsetting what his brother built. But that's literally the only thing I can think of as to why he would genuinely just dislike her so strongly right off the bat. So I don't know if I dig them too much as Emily and Simon as a couple, but I definitely dig their Renaissance Fair personalities, and I really hope that with the last little bit of the book that I can kind of get a better sense for who they are together. So with Where I Am, they woke up after their night together and they were really sweet in the morning. I really did like their little like coffee scene and everything. I thought that was very sweet, and I'm glad that they finally opened up to one another. I totally understood Emily's insecurities in their relationship now that they're kind of moving towards something official. And the way that she responded to not having a clearly defined relationship makes total sense given what she's already gone through. And I really liked how Simon responded. So I have hope for their relationship, and I'm hoping that get some more cute banter, and maybe that Simon will get a chance to actually punch Emily's ex. You know, that would be nice. I don't condone violence, but like if the ex somehow comes crawling back and shows up at the Renaissance Fair, it would be in character for him to punch the ex-boyfriend. Yeah, I like the characters, I like the story, I just am hoping for more from their relationship. Alright, it is quote appreciation time. I've been kind of, as I've read, writing down some of the pages where there have been quotes that I really like, because I cannot bring myself to actually annotate a book. That just pains me. But we're gonna read this one together because I just love it. I have a theory about you, Emily Parker. You do? I do. Another kiss on my cheek, and then his teeth grazed my earlobe, and I shivered. I don't think you've ever been wooed. Have you? The words were a low whisper in my ear, and the shiver intensified. Wooed? The word felt strange in my mouth. Wooed, he repeated, punctuating the word with a kiss on my other cheek. Courted. Swept off your feet. Had someone show you how you make him feel. I can't say that I have. That was an understatement. Then brace yourself. He straightened up and backed away from me a step or two. I'm going to woo your butt off. I don't curse, so I'm taking a liberty there. You can fill in the blank. But I just think that is the kind of real life banter that I wish that they had in other parts of the book. Now that Simon is less standoffish, I'm really hoping that we get more of this, that like confident swagger that his character has. Like, you can be a quiet and studious person, but still, like, when you feel super comfortable with someone, you can, you know, let loose a little bit. And I love that we're getting to see that development now. I hope it continues. Okay, I think we're finally at the action of the book. I'm on page 244, and Emily keeps talking about how they went on a really cute date, and she said, consider myself wooed, and Simon said, oh no, this wasn't wooing. When I'm wooing you, you'll know. And now they're talking about how they were getting ready at the fair, and Simon was scarce, so she didn't see him much before. And dude, I am so ready. I feel like there's gonna be a really big public display of affection that I would really hate if it was me in my real life, but I am living for it if they do it in this book for these two characters. So that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping there's gonna be like a huge, like, the pirate character comes in to woo the tavern wench, and yes, I really hope so. I was so right, the wooing has commenced. Yeah, like literally on that same page that I was just talking about, they just found a rose across the bar, and the little note on the rose says, let the wooing commence. And I am so excited. Oh my gosh, this is what I've been waiting for. Okay, we're good, it's fine. I'm just excited. All right, so a couple pages later, and Simon has been sending her flowers all day while they've been at work. So yeah, he's been having random guests at the fair just bring her flowers, and then Mitch just brought her a flower and said that they have to go to the pub sing. I think that's so sweet and cute. So on page 249, something that really stuck out to me is that she's looking at Simon as he's speaking at the pub sing, And she says, he was a completely different person in the costume and persona of a pirate. But the great thing for me was I now found both men equally compelling. And I'm so glad, like, even if I find one more compelling than the other, I'm so glad that she is content and happy and that she loves him for all the parts of him. Well, I guess they haven't said the L word yet, but she likes him. We'll go with that. I was so right. It was definitely a public display of affection. He just announced to all of the people working at the fair that he's been spending the whole day wooing Emma. Well, I think he said Emma and not Emily at this point. Yes, he did say Emma, not Emily, but still, I love that he's wooing her and that she is managing her stage fright to go and accept his affections, basically. I am very surprised that after the way that they described Emily being so covered and draped in all the roses she's been sent that day, that none of them fell off and bit the dust while she was being dipped by Simon on that stage. But, you know, romance makes sense still. I've come to the conclusion that these two are either a match made in heaven or a powder keg about to explode. Now, the reason for this is that they both take on everyone else's problems and expectations and carry them and wear them, if that makes sense. Emily tries to shoulder everyone else's burdens, and that's how she copes with feeling out of control, trying to put some order to the chaos and better things because she feels like she couldn't better her own life. Whereas Simon is being held to all of these expectations that others have. So he feels as though others expect him to carry on his brother's legacy or to be a certain way, act a certain way. And so he's stuck trying to be himself, but also live up to everyone's expectations. And they're both people pleasers to the max, even though I think Simon is not as likely to try and admit that. So they, together as a couple, will either really support one another by lightening the load off of the other's shoulders and being really attentive to the other's needs, being an advocate for one another even when they're not a very good advocate for themselves. Or, in the more toxic way, they can both completely just lose themselves in either one another and trying to solve one another's problems, or controlled by other people's expectations for them and trying to solve everyone else's problems, that they'll just completely lose themselves in the process and it won't be healthy for their relationship. But yeah, that's my impromptu diagnosis of their little relationship. So at this point, with all the hints that are being dropped, it's been clear for a while that Emily wants to stay in Willow Creek, or whatever this little town is called. She loves the small town feel, she fits in well, she loves the bookstore, she's gonna stay working there, and she's right now worried that Chris is going to replace her with this new student, but I think Chris's intent is actually to retire, and so she's training Emily and the student to kind of take over. Chris hasn't been very clear about her desire to retire, and Emily has not quite yet figured out if she's gonna stay in the town or not. There's some confusion there. I also think it sounds like, you know, Simon, while he loves attending the fair, he doesn't love planning it and organizing it, whereas it's clear that Emily has that attention for detail. She loves to problem solve and put on events, so I think that she might either completely take over for him so that he's not living in his brother's shadow in that way anymore, or they'll just decide to work together, which will be great also, and she'll take on some of the more logistical things and he might loosen the reins a little bit and be okay with a bit of change. And there was the big blow up that I was just worrying about with their relationship. In chapter 21, everything kind of came to a head where both of their insecurities were pretty well spelled out. It's clear that Simon is clinging to the past so much that he can't go to the future or see what's right there in front of him in the present. Emily is very sensitive because of her past relationship experiences, which is fair. Just like Simon's experiences with feeling like he's being left behind and abandoned are also valid. So I really just hope that they can stop and talk it out, and they can both grow a little bit, because if they can just grow a little bit more and meet in the middle, then it will be better. It's easy to say from the outside, but I don't like that the characters have to go through it. He's about to declare his intentions. Okay. I love a good epilogue. Okay, hold on. Let me see what happens. Those were good intentions. Okay, well, that is it. I have finished Well Met. It was cute. I'm glad that the characters did some healing at the end as individuals and then come together, work through their differences to be stronger. And then I love a good epilogue where you get to see kind of where they've gone in a year. The epilogue did feel very weird because it was very telly, not showy, but I get it. Overall, a super cute book. I would recommend it. This is definitely something that I would want to reread. It didn't completely blow me away per se or do anything life-changing for me, but was it enjoyable? Definitely. You know, there was a little bit of the learning and self-growth aspects of it also that I think we can all take something from. At least a lot of us can. It's great. I'm super happy that I got a chance to read it. And yeah, follow me on Instagram if you don't already at Tales with Tiana, and I will see you next time. Bye!